Hi guys, Sci-Fi Recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm gonna explain a 2021 American supernatural and comedy movie called Ghostbusters, Afterlife. The movie begins with a van escapes from a mine belonging to Shandor Mining while being chased by an invisible creature. Long story short, the van crashes, but the van's driver, Egon Spengler, manages to run to his house and powers up an enormous ghost trap. As the invisible creature gets closer, Egon steps into a pedal to activate the trap, but it doesn't work. He then flees to the house and prepares to fight. Unfortunately, the ghost gets him first and kills him in his chair. On the other side, Egon's estranged daughter, Callie, lives with her children Trevor and Phoebe. The little daughter seemed to have a lot of interest in science. Not long after, the building superintendent shows up and the family is evicted since Callie is unable to pay the mortgage. Left with no option, they pack up their stuff and move to Summerville, where they stop by Egon's abandoned haunted house and decide to live there. They, especially Trevor, are shocked when they see the house's situation. A brief earthquake occurs and Phoebe discovers a tracking device under the chair. After that, Janine, Egon's old friend, appears at the house, telling the family that the house is worthless and his father has a debt that must be paid. That night, Callie brings her kids to have dinner at a hamburger shop where Trevor is smitten with one of the waiters, Lucky. Since the shop needs new employees, he offers himself to work there and gives his CV to the girl. Callie learns that her father was known as Dirt Farmer and was a mysterious man because of his weird interest in supernatural stuff. When they return home, the tracker device suddenly detects something and the chessboard falls by itself, which surprised Phoebe. She rearranges the chess pieces and goes to sleep. Meanwhile, Trevor is searching reception while he stops by a building and discovers an Ecto-1, a vehicle that was used by the Ghostbusters. The next day, Phoebe wakes up and finds out that the white piece was moved. She then responds to the move with Black Knight. Callie drives Trevor to work while Phoebe starts her summer school. She comes across Mr. Gruberson, who teaches there, and has a little conversation with him. In class, Phoebe meets Podcast, who runs a podcast and awkwardly interviews her about her grandfather's death. While buying paint, the shopkeeper reveals to Callie that Egon showed suspicious behavior and liked to buy bizarre stuff in the shop. After class, Phoebe goes to Mr. Guberson's office where she learns that he is a seismologist and has been monitoring the town's weird seismic activities that occur from unknown locations for the last few years. He adds that the town isn't anywhere near a tectonic plate, but the earthquake occurs on a daily basis. The girl then explores the town with Podcast, where she tells him that she doesn't believe in ghosts. Surprised with the statement, he brings Phoebe to the mine owned by Shandor Mining that was forced to close down due to supernatural activities happening there, causing the workers to leap down the mine shaft to their death. While returning home, Podcast asks the girl to be his lab partner, which she agrees to. Meanwhile, Trevor tries to fix the vehicle. That night, Phoebe notices that the white piece moved again and replies with Black Pawn. The ghost then rudely knocks the Black Knight piece off the board while the tracker device starts blinking again. She follows the signal, which brings her to the chair and finds an old ghost trap. The next day, she brings the ghost trap to the school and shows Podcast, who examines it and catches the teacher's attention. Curious with the device, Mr. Guberson brings the students to his room and shows them footage of the original Ghostbusters saving a city 20 years ago. After school, they examine the trap together and accidentally free a monstrous ghost that flies toward the Shandor mine. Phoebe also learns that her grandfather, Egon, was actually a Ghostbuster. The teacher takes the kids back to Phoebe's house where Podcast discovers several ghost hunting stuff such as Aztec death whistle while the adults are getting closer to each other. The kids go through more of Egon's stuff and find a book about Gozer, the leader of the ghost realm, who is guarded by a powerful gatekeeper and keymaster and will be a threat to Earth if it has risen up again. Callie shows the teacher the map of Summerville, but written and pictured in ancient language. Mr. Gruberson is fascinated with it and takes the map with him. On the other side, Lucky invites Trevor to spend the night at the mine with her friends, where he tells about his family financial situation and the reason he moved there. Suddenly, a ghost entity bursts out of the mine and flies away toward the town, but the teenagers don't take it seriously. Phoebe takes the tracker device and explores around the barn where she discovers Egon's underground workspace. There, the tracking device keeps blinking, indicating that she is currently with someone else, who turns out to be Egon's ghost. She finds Egon's old Ghostbuster uniform and attempts to fix a ghost-capturing weapon, proton pack, before returning to her room. Later that night, she asks her mother about Egon's specialist in science, but she brushes him off with resentment for abandoning his family and changes the topic, telling her that she is going on a date tomorrow with the teacher. The next morning, Phoebe shows the proton pack to Podcast. They test out the weapon, which turns out to still be powerful, destroying the bottles entirely. Not long after, they hear a weird noise coming from the old factory where they find a muncher, a blue blobby ghost, eating metals and pipes. The muncher spots them and attacks them with metal shards coming from its mouth. Phoebe fires the proton beam and temporarily shackles it, but it breaks free and flees from the factory. After having the Ecto-1 fixed, Trevor immediately takes the car for a spin. He picks up Phoebe and Podcast as they chase after the ghost. Podcast finds another ghost trap device while Phoebe tells her brother that Egon was a Ghostbuster. They arrive at the town where the kids find the muncher is eating a fire hydrant. They drive through the town chasing after the muncher while the nerd girl, who sits on the car's retractable seat, starts shooting the proton beam at the ghost. She manages to capture the muncher with the proton beam, but it doesn't give up. After a long chase and creating a mess in the town, Podcast traps it inside the remote-controlled ghost trap as it tries to escape to the mountain. Trevor realizes that it was heading to the place where he and Lucky went to last night. As they are driving back, the kids are confronted and arrested by Sheriff Domingo. In the cell, Trevor explains the event at the mountain earlier with Lucky, telling them that he heard something say Gozer inside the mine. He also learns that Lucky is the sheriff's daughter. Phoebe requests a phone call and contacts Ray Stantz, former member of Ghostbusters who now runs an occult antique shop. When the girl mentions Egon, Ray tells her that being a ghost hunter used to be a promising job, but not for a long time. He also adds that all former Ghostbusters members have moved on and live a happy life, except him and Egon. The last time they met each other, Egon became too obsessed with ghosts, telling people that the world was coming to an end. Her grandfather then took away all the Ghostbusters weapons with him and ran away to Summerville. Before Domingo makes her hang up, Phoebe tells him that she is Egon's granddaughter. The adults then arrive at the police station to bail the kids out, but their ghost hunting equipment is confiscated. Phoebe tells them that the group captured a ghost, but no one believes her. When they reach home, Phoebe and Callie argue as the mom keeps telling her that her grandfather was not a decent guy and doesn't want her daughter mixed up in his business, but Phoebe understands the reason behind it and respects her grandpa. On the other side, something is awakened and the wall in the mine starts to crack. Gooberson goes to a supermarket to buy an ice cream where he accidentally discovers a moving marshmallow. A few moments later, an army of marshmallows comes to life and starts invading the supermarket. He keeps walking until he spots the keymaster, who then chases after him. He runs for his life and manages to reach his car, but the beast follows him and attacks him. The next day, the kids discuss about Gozer, a soul-eating deity and flame-dripping deity of evil, and then head over to the mine to find out what is happening. Furthermore, they arrive at a temple with a statue of Gozer and the preserved body of Ivo Shandor, the owner of the mine and a cult leader devoted to Gozer. Phoebe finds a list of years of various seismic and supernatural events all over the world written on the wall. Suddenly an earthquake occurs and the kids figure out the source of the earthquake, which is a ghostly portal where all undead souls are trying to reach the earth, but several weapons built by Egon burst out proton beams, preventing them from proceeding further. Now everyone understands that Egon left his family and friends for the greater good. In the house, Callie finds the tracker device and follows the signal to Egon's underground workspace, where she learns that her father had been paying attention to her all this time, with pictures of her all over the wall. Unfortunately, a white mist, that turns out to be the gatekeeper, enters the room and attacks her. The kids return home, only to find out that Callie has been possessed by the evil spirit. Her eyes turn orange and she starts threatening them. Meanwhile, Gooberson, who is possessed by the Keymaster, arrives at the mine and deactivates the weapons, allowing all the evil souls to break free and causing a great earthquake in the town. Phoebe finds out that the farm near the house is actually an enormous ghost trap. They then go to Egon's lab and gather all the ghost hunting equipment, as well as the Ghostbusters uniforms. Phoebe explains that the silos outside the house act as a capacitor which can power up hundreds of ghost traps at a time. The kids run to the police station where they release the muncher from the trap and use it to destroy the metal bars. After that, they retrieve their weapons and are ready to beat the ghosts themselves. The 2021 Ghostbusters drive toward the mine while the gatekeeper and the Keymaster rebuild the temple and bring Gozer back to life. Shandor awakens and praises the evil ghost, but she is not interested and immediately tears him into two pieces. While the town falls into widespread panic, the kids show up and try to capture Gozer with the remote-controlled trap device. But they trap the gatekeeper instead. Callie breaks free from her possession while Gozer is temporarily weakened. The kids rescue Callie and then immediately escape from the temple. They manage to retrieve the four-wheeled trap device containing the gatekeeper and return to the house. The weakened Gozer shows up and Phoebe tries to lure her into the massive ghost trap devices. Unfortunately, as Callie pulls the lever and hits the pedal while Lucky attacks her with the proton pack, the traps malfunction and then the Keymaster releases the gatekeeper who then possesses Lucky. Gozer regains her power and attempts to kill Callie, but suddenly a group of old men show up. They are the original Ghostbusters and they simultaneously fire the proton beams toward the evil spirit, but Gozer outpowers them and uncrosses the streams. Phoebe tries to capture Gozer on her own. The evil demon fights back, but Egon's ghost suddenly appears and helps his granddaughter to defeat her. The old and new Ghostbusters combine their power and eventually manage to paralyze the demon. Trevor fires the proton beams at the silos and Callie successfully activates the massive traps which consume all the evil spirits, as well as Gozer. After that, the old Ghostbusters apologize to Egon for not believing him while Trevor rescues Mr. Gooberson and Lucky out of the beast shell. Callie finally is able to hug her father and understands the truth as Egon's ghost slowly diminishes. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.